What is functional medicine?
Functional medicine is not a specialty. That's what everybody wants to think. It's just a different approach to uncovering and treating chronic disease. You're looking for root causes and not just treating symptoms.
You were diagnosed with possible MS, and you were treated for many chronic problems, horrible, and you put horrible in all caps and in parentheses on your website. And you say, I mean, horrible constipation, IBS, reflux, depression, neuropathy, spastic bladder, restless leg syndrome, vertigo, and rashes. Paul, were you married to her?
Not that time, no.
I wouldn't have been either. Yeah, that's a lot right there. So let's talk about your illness and how did it first begin?
Looking back, I was a child who was hyperactive. Literally was told that I could climb walls. I had repeated strep infections, lots of allergies, and then that progressed to, as a teenager, lots issues with depression, anxiety, acne, but a lot of people get that, but mine was really bad. And then it was restless leg syndrome, dizziness, orthostatic hypotension. I was passing out. And it just kept getting worse and worse. And no matter what I did, I'd been to all kinds of specialists.
Even as a young child?
Even as a young child.
Did your mother believe it could be diet-related?
No.
Nobody ever connected those dots?
No. It was, no one ever mentioned that. Ever. Not that I've asked Mom about it, but no, that was never mentioned.
You had surgery? How old were you when you had your first surgery?
I didn't. My first surgery was the abdominal, the colectomy, the partial colectomy. That I was third. Oh gosh.
Were you in medical school?
I was in my residency, my first year of residency, and they did not like the fact that I had to have that done because they got knocked out of a resident, But it had to be done. It reached the point where I was extremely sick.
Do you think being a patient has made you a better doctor?
Absolutely. Yes, I can relate. I felt like an experiment for most of my life.
Mm-hmm. Paul's nodding.
And that's how a lot of my patients feel.
Mm-hmm. Like an experiment?
Yeah.
So, Amy, you run a medical practice online. How did that come about? And why did you think it would work?
So we tried to do this in a brick and mortar area. And of course, with what we do, we don't take insurance. We tried it and about near bankrupted us. Mm-hmm. And it was such a headache. We were like, I'm not doing that again. That's awful.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because you get paid per patient, and we spend a lot of time with our patients because you have to know your patient to help them. And you cannot get to know a patient in 10 minutes.
You said that on your online,
yeah.
Amy Beard MD online, that you can't solve the patient in 10 or 15 minutes.
No, we're seeing our patients for an hour at a time, multiple times.
But the
frequently.
Insurance company will only pay you for a 15-minute doctor's visit.
Well, the reimbursement, that's why doctors see so many patients per hour. It's based on volume.
Gosh. And you need a full-time admin person just to handle those claims. Because they deny them and they kick them back.
So you have to have
a racket.
So, yes. But
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
it's broken,
so
absolutely.
It's definitely broken. And so, Arkansas is not the hottest market for functional medicine, so we decided to take it online to reach more people. We utilize a lot of health coaches, and that I think is super important.
What is a health coach?
These are the people that make sure you carry out my plans accordingly to the T, and that you don't. And they're also supporting you. They're motivating you. They're making sure you stay on track, providing accountability, making sure you understand everything, and they're really a crucial part of your success.
Do they live by the person?
They are also, online as well. We do Zoom meetings.
So you diagnose people?
I don't diagnose. They already come to me with their diagnoses. I'm just looking for the root causes. And so many of them, and a lot of people don't want to hear it, but it's lifestyle driven. But at the same time, a lot of people are happy to hear that as well, that they don't need a pharmaceutical. We just need to tweak some things in their diet, their sleep habits, their stress, some toxin exposure issues, and then all of a sudden they start feeling better, and they start coming off their medications.
And so you find these life coaches online with you, and you do conference calls together, and then they're the ones that check up on them.
Yeah, so they spend my patients spend the majority of the time with the health coach. So they're really the main point of contact. I'm there for looking over the initial things, getting them set on the right path.
Do you have them send their urine samples and feces and?
Yes, we do stool studies.
Stool studies.
We do testing that does require urine and things.
So the life coach can't do that.
No, I have to sign off on those things and look over the results and stuff like that, and then base my if there's any changes that need to be made with what we're currently doing for them. I'll sit there and talk with the health coach about what needs to be done, and they will relay that information. But my patients can certainly choose to see me face to face as well.
Oh, they can?
Yes.
If they want to come to
online.
Online.
We use Zoom, which is a HIPAA compliant meeting room. So it's still visual. It's not a phone call.
And HIPAA compliant means
that we're government compliant, and this is we're
protecting your health information.
Yes, it's all about protecting that.
Mm-hmm.
Functional medicine, you're a medical detective.
Yes.
So you ask when they see results, it's depending on what she's looking at their timeline.
Yeah, so, because every initial patient goes through what we call a health and medical investigation. We are all up in your business. Seriously. We want to know everything from the time that you were born up until now, what has gone on in your life, because it often provides a lot of clues as to what is going on. What are the mediators of your issues, the triggers, the antecedents, things that are contributing to your problems.
So what the antecedents are?
Things that have gone on prior to your current day situations. Were you a cesarean baby? Were you vaginally? Did your mom have a vaginal delivery with you? Because that alters your GI microbiome.
How does it do that?
Because if you go through the vaginal canal, you are exposed to your mother's vaginal flora. If you're a C-section baby, you get skin flora inhabiting your mouth and then your GI tract.
And what does that make? What does that?
And
make
that alters your GI microbiome, and your GI microbiome is a huge part of your immune system.
C-section babies often have their immune systems may not be as strong sometimes.
Oh my gosh!
And we're starting to
unbelievable.
Yeah. An antecedent for Amy, a functional medicine doctor would have looked at that she grew up in the Delta and exposed to arsenic and mercury from the herbicides and pesticides in the agricultural.
Is that how come you got it? It's not because you ate a bunch of sushi?
I was consuming a lot of tuna fish, right? Because it's healthy. Mm-hmm. I also had silver fillings in my mouth.
So get the white fillings.
The porcelain.
They're prettier anyway.
Yeah.
I'm still stumped over the vaginal delivery and the C-section. I'm just in shock. Give me some more like that. I love that
cool,
detective
right?
work.
Yeah,
yes,
I know.
It's very, very
but
cool.
Those are, and that's, but we're looking at stressful events that might have, because often those are triggers: death, divorce.
And don't young people who have 1 in 3 girls is sexually molested.
Yes, we have a lot of that.
A lot of that.
We ask about traumas.
And that does cause eating disorders.
Yes, I have one.
Heard. Yeah,
I had one. Not that I was abused or anything like that, but that was a part of, I think, my altered microbiome, because I'd been on tons of antibiotics for strep throat and other things for acne. I was still eating wheat and whey and eggs and had no idea.
So you think that had something to do with trauma?
No, that had something to do with me developing an eating disorder, I think.
Since you're an engineer and you're a doctor, you may like this, and you can fact check me on this. If you eliminate 1 meat meal from a day, you save 200,000 gallons of water and the carbon equivalent of driving from New York to L.A. Because that one piece of meat to raise that animal for whatever the life was. So you're a cattle farmer.
That's such a narrow, ignorant view. I'm sorry.
She's a vegan.
Right. So.
Paul will have a lot to say about this.
It depends on how
Paul, we don't have that.
I know.
I can make an alternate argument that running your animals properly will increase water savings because 1% of organic matter in the soil can hold over 200,000 gallons of water per acre.
See, it's the difference between,
industrial
farming.
Exactly.
That's it right there.
Industrial
That's
farming
really
is horrible, and they want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We're saying, no, there's a balance between the two.
That's right. So limiting the amount we eat of meat could reduce the amount of industrial farming we do to meet the demand.
And buy from good farmers. We deal with Rabbit Ridge. They're a wonderful organic farm in Arkansas, and they are improving their land.
They're doing it
right. And there's lots of the Lewises
in Greenbrier.
Do a great job.
So before we end, sleep patterns. You said that was important. Why is that important?
Sleep.
Do you need to stick to a specific sleep pattern?
Your body likes a schedule.
It wants a schedule.
Yes, so try to do that. And sleep is everything. Without sleep, your body's not going to work right.
So the bullet points we've talked about: sleep patterns, diet. We spent a lot of time on diet, leaky gut, exercise. You can exercise too much.
Yes, you can.
Meditation. We talked before we came on about meditation and prayer. Some people don't like that word, downtime. Some people don't like the word prayer. Some people like the word meditation. We talked about leaky guts, and we talked about toxins. I can't remember what we said about toxins. They could be in your fillings. They could be in your air.
Everywhere.
They're everywhere. Is there a way to find them, to look for them?
Yes. There's websites that you can go to that can help you use more natural products as far as cosmetics, cleaning agents, and things like that. And we just do that as a part of educating our patients on where they might be going wrong and how they can just eliminate as many
cleaning agents.
Yeah, getting rid of the chemicals in your home, and you'd be surprised.
A lot of it's job related.
Yeah,
mechanics,
welders,
they suffer.
Yep.
And
we're having to leave.
Oh no.
He's about. I know. I've got the 30-second buzz. Boy, I've enjoyed talking to y'all. I could spend another 30 minutes talking to you. Thank you very much, Amy Beard and husband Paul. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Go to ArkansasFlagandBanner.com to get a link to Amy Beard's website so you can learn more. Thanks for being with us.